responsibility for all of this. You know, the conservatives very often will say, I've myself in the past, I'll say things like, we want to educate children, not indoctrinate children. In fact, those words mean exactly the same thing. Right? You know, conservatives very often will say, I've been guilty of it myself in the past. I'll say things like, we want to educate children, not indoctrinate children. In fact, those words mean exactly the same thing. Right? You know, we want to teach children how to think, not what to.
So you heard it from the devil himself. You know what I'm saying? So most people, when they think about so-called education, they think about what we know as the school system. And the school system that we know of come from Prussia. Prussia, something along those lines, but it's a conformity school system. They teach you standard testing, right? When everybody has to make the same grade. You know, it's no creativity. There's no thinking for yourself. So like you 1 second. But this all has a purpose to keep the people dumbed down. They're not doing anything for no reason. Everything that they do is for a reason. And as you saw in that video, the same thing educate means to indoctrinate. It's one and the same. When you indoctrinate somebody, let's go to like educate. Like if I educate you on something, I'm telling you to do something a particular way. And how would you know what is the right and wrong way if you have no reference point? That means the person that's teaching you, right, it would be a so-called teacher, would be the reference point, right? And they gave these curriculums to these teachers to teach these students starting at grade school all the way to college. And it didn't only stop at the school system, it also extended to the so-called religious system. They one and the same, they intertwine, right? That was a part of totally brainwashing you and indoctrinating you to this system. That's why when you tell our people the customs out of the Bible, it seems very strange to them and foreign to them because they don't know the coach out of the Bible, but yet they'll say they believe in the Bible. It don't make sense. So let's get into this word educate. So most people that so-called got a college degree would consider those they self-educated, but they don't understand that they've been indoctrinated. They just been given a curriculum, right? They, so-called pass the test, and they move on to the next phase or the next level, right? That's why it's called a degree. It's giving you a degree of knowledge, right? And the best knowledge to understand is the Bible. But most of our people don't have no clue what the Bible is talking about, yet they're reading the same book we're reading. No clue. So educate, right? It says give intellectual, moral, which the morals are gone. Ain't no more moral. They teaching boys how to be girls and girls how to be boys. The morals is out the window. It says in social institution to someone, especially a child. So the best people to brainwash are children. And that's why we was brainwashed when we was children under Christianity and under the school system, because once they become adults, they're gonna carry on that indoctrination to their kids and to their kids and to their kids. And it's a generations of curse people, right? That's passing these lies. That's why you talk a certain way. That's why you speak English. That's why you have an English name. That's why you dress a certain way. That's why most of our women think a certain way. A lot of women think a man's supposed to have only one wife, right? But where did they get this from? They got this from this culture. But yet they'll say they believe in the Bible, which our ancestors had multiple wives. Look at Jacob, right? Look at go on and so forth. King Solomon, King David, but the feminists, the brainwashing that they've been taught kicks in, and they don't believe in the Bible. They really don't believe in the Bible. They believe in the religion of Christianity that they was indoctrinated, educated by the enemies, right? So it's where educate. It says teach, school, and really the children are supposed to be taught by the mother, right? Through the scriptures, the truth out of the Bible. I'm gonna show you some here. When you go to similar words, right? When the words go back to indoctrinate, Indoctrinate. I'm going to pull that next. I'm going to go to that definition. So when you go to the word educate, when you go to the root of the word, it means to lead out. Lead out, right? Goes back into the Latin, right? And then when you go to the similar words, indoctrinate. There's no coincidence that that's there. Let's go to this word indoctrinate. All right. Check this out, indoctrinated. So when you indoctrinated, that means you've been brought up under a particular system that taught you so-called truth, taught you lies, taught you the moral code of life, you know, what the truth is and what, you know, so on and so forth. You know, what to eat in the morning. I mean, we talking about the smallest of the smallest details that our people been brainwashed on. It says indoctrinated. Definition, having been instructed or Im- imbued with a specific belief or point of view, right? Let's keep going. It says indoctrinated to often repeat an idea. That's what our people repeat these Christianity sayings and these so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American Christian church sayings like God is good all the time. And won't he do it? That's a thing that they repeat because they was taught that as a child, right? They heard that growing up from their parents. And that's how a lie turns into a doctrine, turns into a person's truth, which is totally, you know, that's how the truth in people's mind you know, is a truth, but it really is a lie. It says to often repeat an idea or belief to someone until they accept it without criticism or question. There you go. Check this one out. Indoctrination is the process of inculcating, teaching by repeated instruction a person or people into a ideology. So you've been given Christianity, like, you know, all these sayings and these false doctrines from Christianity, and it has really did a number on our people. That's why most of our people have no clue what the Bible or what the truth is in this world. They just go off what they've been taught. And when you try to correct them, they get offended and they go back into the indoctrination. And when you indoctrinated, you start to defend these lies, right? So the so-called white man don't need to beat you down with a whip and, you know, so-called lynch you and terrorize you in that fashion. He has already defeated you in the mind. You his goon now, right? You do the bidding of these devils without you really knowing it, starting out women, because the woman is the weaker vessel. And a lot of these feminism and a lot of these ways of thinking was given unto you by your enemy to make you turn against your own men, right? For the women. Check this out. He says Eurocentrism is a world view that views European, which would be Edomites, or Western ways of knowing as the center of the world or as superior to other cultures. All right. So this is when they gave you English. They gave you goddamn bacon in the morning. They gave you so-called white man Christianity. They gave you love your enemy. They gave you all these things. You right? They gave you Levi's. That's why Jake dressed a certain way and our women dress a certain way, right? They've been totally brainwashed. They don't even know how to properly live correctly. They eat all this junk food. This real food. This is GMO culture, right? Check this out. It says a way of thinking in which assumes that European experience is the only or best way of achieving something. Do you hear this? So the so-called white man way of doing things is the only way you can properly do things. And that's what our people have been engineered and brainwashed, socially engineered to believe. And now it's on autopilot. They're just going off what they've been taught. They don't know no other way. And we tell them about a new way, they get offended because remember, they want to be comfortable in their lives. It says that Europe should be the model for other parts of the world to follow. Right. So that was a part of them stripping you from your culture. You ask these little ninjas what's their ethnicity, and they'll tell you black. And what a hell of a mind job that is that these devils did to our people. And they call themselves white because white represents something good, purity, positive, right? Black is associated with something negative, evil, demonic, right? Black sheep, black magic, black cat. You get the gist, right? Let's go here. This is religious indoctrination. The religious indoctrination came with the image of so-called white Jesus, which is known, his true name is Cesare Borgia. And those remakes of those images you see today that's in the likeness of a so-called white man is all counterfeits. This is all illusion. This is all idols. This was created in the goddamn lab, so to speak, to indoctrinate you. Religious indoctrination, what is it? That's why most of our people call themselves Christians today. That's why they wear crosses around their neck. That's why they repeat things that they heard growing up from the religion of Christianity. It says religious indoctrination is the process of teaching religious doctrine in an authoritative way. That's why they push the images on you, right? And also with the false doctrines, often without allowing people to rationally evaluate the beliefs. It can involve use of fear to force people to act and think a certain way, right? They told Jake they'll go to hell if they don't believe in so-called white Jesus. That's a tactic of fear to control people, which we tell Jake hell is all made up. It's like a Marvel movie. It don't exist. But when you've been religious and indoctrinated, and all these other things, our people believe in that Satan rebelled against the Most High. They believe in a Nephilim. They believe in all kind of tall tales. They believe that anybody can be saved. They believe that John 3:16, God so loved the world. They believe all these lies, right? Check this out. And religious indoctrination came with that image of so-called white Jesus. I want to go to one of these terms. Trying to see which one was it. If I can't find it, I'm just gonna keep it moving. But yeah, you get the point. Religious indoctrination is this indoctrination, but with religion, what you was taught, what our people actually believe in today's spirit. They've been messed up. Let's go here. Let's go here. And you've been assimilated to the so-called white man coach. I know that burns a lot of you jakes up because you don't want to think that you're brainwashed, but a lot of you brainwashed, you don't know you brainwashed. Culture assimilation, right here. I want you to listen up to this. It says a prominent example of culture assimilation is the forced assimilation of the so-called Native Americans, the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Reuben, and the other tribes of Israel. And that's why you've been brainwashed, because you even call them Native Americans when they wouldn't. That was not their true ethnicity. It says where they compelled to abandon their languages, they was compelled to abandon their traditions, and they was compelled to abandon their names in favor of adopting the dominant white culture. It says often through boarding schools. Let's go back into your school system. A boarding school is the modern day concept of what you know as grade school. The same thing. They totally indoctrinating you, and they know to get you as a child because from the age 2 to 6, that's the most impressionable age to be brainwashed, and they know this. That's why they purposely throw you into the school system to tell you that they brainwash you on Thanksgiving. That's pushed in school. Thanksgiving Day, Christmas isn't pushed in so-called school. Easter is pushed in so-called school. They even got projects that they have to do. Christopher Columbus, they all these traditions that they want you to be under. English language, I mean, the way they eat, the way they dress, everything. It says, often through boarding schools that prohibited their native practices and forced them to adopt English names and clothing, and considered a historical example of cultural assimilation at its most extreme. Well, there you go. That's what happened to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the other tribes. They forced you to use their money system. They told you about a 401k, right? They told you that Christianity is the only religion that's going to save you, right? But I'm running out of time. I've been trying to get this lesson done for like 2 days. Phone been bugging out, but hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachat, Kodash. Shalom.